I'm so glad you're here tonight. Before we begin, settle in, dim the lights, and let your body release the day. This is What If Sleep, where we ask the gentlest questions and let them carry us softly away. And tonight's question is this: what if you were teleported to ancient India? Close your eyes. Take a slow breath in and let us drift into this quiet, enormous, tender night together. Open your eyes, and the ceiling is gone, replaced by a sky the color of unwashed slate. For a long moment, you do not move, listening to the hush around you. Somewhere a bell has not yet rung. The air holds the scent of wet stone and cold earth, and you understand, slowly, without fear, that you are somewhere very old. Before you, a great temple stands half in shadow, its towers stacked like folded hands. No one else is here yet. Only the pigeons shifting on the ledges and the sound of your own breath. You rise, and your bare feet find stone worn smooth by 1,000 years of other feet. And you understand that rest, too, is a kind of the first lamp catches as a woman in a faded sari kneels at a small shrine. And suddenly, the world is warmer. Orange light blooms against the blue of morning, and the smell of ghee threads the air. She does not speak, only as if you were expected all along. You watch a flame learn everywhere. There are gods carved into the living rock, their eyes calm and open, their hands posed in gestures older than any language you know. You walk among them and feel watched, though not judged. They have seen 1,000,000 mornings like this one. They will see 1,000,000 more after you. You are a small thing here, and that they will see 1,000,000 more after you. You are a small thing here, and that the river has not yet turned silver with light, but you can smell it, the coolness of moving water carried on the breeze. Stone steps run down to it, wet and glistening, and the ghats stretch into haze. A boatman unties his rope and hums an old tune. He waves you nearer with a gesture that needs no translation. How strange it is to arrive in a place with no memory of the road. You turn in a slow circle, and every direction holds something you have never seen and somehow always wanted to. The dust between the stones sparkles in the low light. This is not a dream, not exactly, and not the life you left behind exactly, and not the life you left behind either. The water pot grins at you and runs ahead, his bare feet sending up small puffs of dust. He points at a distant spire as if it is the most wonderful thing on earth. You nod and for a moment, you are a child again. To what if sleep were simply the world teaching you to let go, and the city begins to spread below you like a painting left to cure. Roofs of ochre and umber, a lacework of lanes, the river a long ribbon of silk. Smoke rises from 100 hidden kitchens. It is beautiful and enormous and utterly indifferent to your existence. And that is precisely what quiets utterly you. Indifferent to your existence. And that is precisely what the stone you. Is warm where the sun has reached it, and cool where the shadow lingers. You press your palm flat against a carving of a lotus and feel, faintly, the patience of whoever shaped it. They are gone, all of them, but their hands remain, folded into the rock. You wonder if anything you have ever made would outlast you like this. If anything you have ever made would outlast you like this. The bells start, not all at once, but one after another, each finding its note and keeping it, until the whole valley hums with a long, slow music. You had forgotten how much of life is sound. The ringing does not assault you, it surrounds you, the way a tide surrounds a stone. You are hungry, you realize, in a way that is simple and animal, and somehow joyful. A stall of flat bread has opened beside the lane, the dough slapped and tossed and laid on hot iron. The woman folds one into a leaf and hands it to you, steaming, for no coin. A beggar sits at the temple gate with his bowl and his eyes full of an unhurried peace. You meet his gaze and he smiles, not at your coin, which you do not have, but at you. He gestures to the steps as if to say, rest. And you let the thought of sleep settle over you like a soft The sun has cleared the rooftops now, and the whole world is honey and smoke. Butterflies the color of old gold drift through the open air, and a cow moves slowly down the center of the lane, certain of its right to be there. Everyone simply parts for it. You smile at how the whole day arranges itself around unhurried things. At how the whole day arranges itself around unhurried You find things. A courtyard full of carved pillars where the light falls in long bars, and dust moves through each beam like slow snow. Someone has left a diya burning on a low shelf, a single small flame keeping watch. You sit beneath the arches and let the coolness wash over you. In this older world, even the shadows seem A musician sits under a banyan tree and draws a slow drone from a small instrument, and the sound is like honey poured into the afternoon. He does not play for an audience. He plays because the day asks him to at a respectful distance and listen until the hour loosens its grip. Children chase a hoop through the lane, and their laughter is a bright, unbroken thread. You watch them turn and turn, and your own mouth forgets how to be serious. One of them tugs your sleeve and pulls you into the circle, and for a moment you are spinning with them, barefoot, unguarded. Every face you pass seems to carry the same quiet assurance, as if the people here have decided long ago what matters and have stopped worrying about the rest. A woman balances a water pot on her hip and walks as though gravity were her friend. A man waters a plant and greets it. And sleep, you have learned, is the gentlest door. What if sleep were not an ending of your life, but an entrance to another one, softer and older, where you could rest from being yourself for a while? The thought settles into you as you lean against a sun-warmed wall and close your eyes. The bells have gone. The lane hums with a low, content shaded alcove. A carver sits at work, and his chisel finds the stone with a sound like a soft heartbeat. He has been at this one figure for longer than you have been alive. He tells you without words, in the way he does not. The stone beneath his hands is becoming a hand, a wrist. A lane opens onto a square where a wedding procession is moving slowly. The groom on a white horse under a canopy of flowers. Music and color and the scent of marigolds fill the air, and everyone is invited, including you, the stranger with no name. They press a sweet into your hand and grin. You are swept along, laughing at night. Later you climb 1,000 worn steps to a hilltop shrine and look back the way you came. The city is a soft rumble of ochre and shadow. The river, a long curve of light. It does not need you, this world, and yet it has held you all day without asking for anything back. Dusk is falling like a curtain made of blue and gold. Everywhere the diyas are being lit, small flames appearing at doorways and windowsills, as if the city were remembering its own heartbeat. You walk through a lane of 100 little lights and feel that you are inside some enormous, you think, how easily sleep has become a friend. You walk through a lane of 100 little lights and feel that you are inside some enormous, you think, how easily sleep has become a friend. A woman here offers you a cup of warm milk with a thread of saffron in it, and you sip it on the steps of a small temple as the stars begin to arrive. The milk is sweet and steadying, and the night comes down around you like a blanket being laid gently over the land. You thank her, and she nods. The great river at night is a black mirror with a few boat lamps floating on it like fallen stars. You sit at the edge of the water and let its long, dark motion carry your thoughts away, one by one, until your mind is as still as the surface between. You lay your head down at last in a small room above a courtyard, on a mat that smells of hay and dust, and somewhere, faintly, of jasmine. The sounds of the night come through the window, a dog barking far off, the low murmur of voices you cannot understand, and do not wake to darkness still, but a darkness threaded with the first gray of day. A rooster calls, then another, then 100, until the whole world is announcing itself. You are not tired. You are rested in a way you cannot remember. Ideas from last night have gone out, but their smell today. You walk toward the river with the crowd, and you feel the strangest thing, that you are alone, and not alone at the same time. 100 shoulders brush yours, 1,000 voices rise and fall, and yet there is room inside you for a silence that no one can touch. What if the peace you are finding is a kind of waking? What if the peace you are finding is a kind of waking? A holy man sits cross-legged on a flat stone above the water, and his eyes are closed, and the whole of him is still in a way that makes the moving world seem like a dream. You sit a little way off and do not disturb. Stillness is a kind of shelter. You can sit inside without. The Ganges here is wide and slow, and the color of the sky when the sky cannot decide between silver and gold. Boats move across it like thoughts across a mind that is finally quiet. You buy a small offering, a cup of marigolds and a lamp, and you set it on the water and watch it drift away. And you set it on the water and watch it drift away. But if sleep were a kind of homecoming to a place you have never been, a remembering of a life that never happened to you, the idea follows you all morning, soft and persistent as the river. You find yourself touching the walls, the leaves, the warm stones, as if to confirm they are real. They are. And so, strangely, our parrot speaks to you from a brass cage, and you laugh out loud, alone, in the street. And it is the kind of laugh that surprises you. No one looks at you strangely. Here it seems everyone understands that a stranger may laugh at nothing, and it is simply a good sign. The bird asks a question you cannot answer into a lane so narrow that you can touch both walls at once, and high above, the sky is only a thread of blue. Laundry hangs like bright flags, and the smell of wood smoke and cardamom rises from a doorway. You are learning that even rest can be a form of courage. The afternoon heat settles over everything like a held breath. Even the street dogs lie in the shade with their legs splayed, unashamed. You find a broken step in the shade and sit, and let the world move at its own speed while you keep still, while you do nothing. And it feels impossible. When the shadows grow long again, a crowd gathers at a crossroads where a lamp has been placed before a small shrine, and the singing begins. It is not a performance. It is a breathing. The voices fold in and out of one another, and you find yourself swaying, humming a tune you have never heard, feeling it shape itself around you, shape itself around you. Runs up to you and presses a ripe mango into your hands, then runs away before you can thank him. It is still warm from the sun, and its sweetness fills your mouth with an instant of pure, wordless joy. In the middle of the lane eating it, juice running down your wrist. At the edge of the water, you meet an old ferryman who has crossed this river 100,000 times. He asks, in signs and smiles, where you are from, and you have no answer that makes sense, so you point at the sky. He laughs, delighted, as if you have told a wonderful joke. On the far bank, you climb a small hill and find a single tree that has grown around a piece of carved stone, embracing it, protecting it, as if they had agreed long ago to grow old together. You sit beneath them and feel their long companionship settle over you, and you feel sleep moving toward you like a slow, kind tide. But if sleep were the only honest journey, the one where you finally stop performing for the world and let it see you as you are, here you realize you have not once pretended to be someone else. There was no one to impress, nothing to prove, nowhere to be on time. A festival is gathering in the square, and by evening, the whole place is a sea of lamps and flowers and moving color. You are handed a garland and a lamp and pushed gently into the middle of it all, because resisting would be like resisting the tide. The drums begin, low, and music rises, and the dancers turn, and their hands speak a language you almost remember from before you were born. You watch a dancer's fingers become a flower, a bird, a falling leaf, and you understand that this is how this world remembers not everything in books, but in bodies. In gestures. A quiet corner away from the music, you find a man making lamps, dozens of them, his fingers moving with a rhythm as old as fire itself. He hands you a small clay lamp and a wick, and shows you, in silence, how to fill it. When the flame catches, you feel a ridiculous surge. You carry your little lamp through the crowd like a secret, and you notice that you are smiling and have been for some time without deciding to. The faces around you are lit from below by their own small flames, and each one is beautiful. What if sleep has always been the truest home? The night deepens and the festival thins, and you walk home through lanes where the dia flames have been left to burn themselves out on their own sweet time. A stray dog falls in beside you and walks the whole way, as if appointed to guard you. When you reach your step, it looks at you once. You lie in the dark above the courtyard and listen to the night complete itself around you. A dog, a flute, the rustle of a bird in the rafters, and you feel the old world loosen its grip on your ribs. There is nothing to check, nothing to miss. You have only this breath, and then the third morning finds you by the river before the sun, and the water is the color of pearls and old pewter. 100 people are already here, silent together, watching the same slow miracle arrive. You do not know their names, and they do not know yours, and it does not matter. That You have stopped checking for the things you used to carry. No phone, no keys, no money, no plan. And nothing has gone wrong. The world has fed you and sheltered you and walked you to the river, all on its own. You laugh softly at how much you once believed you could not live without. In ochre robes pauses in his walk and looks at you. And his look is not the inspection of a stranger, but the recognition of a fellow traveler, however far behind. He says a single word and you gently know what it means. You let the day fall away. And sleep gathers. What if sleep were the one place where no one can reach you, where the phone cannot ring, and the world cannot demand a single thing, and you have carried that place inside you all along without visiting it? Here, you are learning to visit it, to close your eyes in the middle of the day and find that quiet room. An elephant moves through the street with a slow, enormous dignity, and you feel your heart rise into your throat at its beauty. Its keeper gives it a handful of sugar cane, and it takes it with a delicacy that seems impossible for a creature so you stand very close and feel its warmth, and you spend the afternoon in a temple where the walls are 1,000 years of carved stories, battles and weddings, dancers and gods, every surface alive with figures who seem to move when you move past them. You trace your fingers along a frieze of musicians and feel the lives that carved them reaching across the centuries. You trace your fingers along a frieze of musicians and feel the lives that carved them reaching across the centuries. A woman who washes her clothes at the river, beating them against a flat stone with a rhythm as steady as a heart. She looks up and smiles at you, and you smile back. And somehow this small exchange, this stranger meeting stranger over the sound of wet cloth, feels like the whole of what it means to be alive. Like the whole of what it means to be alive. The heat of midday sends everyone to the shade, and you lie in the shadow of a great wall with your head on your arms, watching a single cloud do nothing for a very long time. No one disturbs you. The day has agreed to let you understand that to rest is to come back to yourself. In the late afternoon, you wander into a courtyard where children are learning their letters by writing them in the dust with sticks over and over until they are perfect. A teacher notices you watching and gestures for you to sit. You take a stick and you write your own name in the dust, and then you share an evening meal with a family you have never met, sitting on a mat on the floor with rice and dal, and a dozen hands reaching for the same bread. No one asks where you came from. They only make sure you eat, that your leaf is full, that you are not after the meal. You sit on the roof with the grandmother, who points out the stars one by one and names them in a language you cannot follow. And it is better that way, because you learn them by the music of their names instead. The night breeze carries the smell of smoke, and you are woken by temple bells, so deep they seem to come from inside the earth rather than above it. The sky is the color of an old bruise, violet and gray, and the air smells of rain before rain. Today the clouds have come down low, and the whole world is muffled. The monsoon arrives in earnest, and the lane becomes a brown river that children wade in with delighted screams. You take off your shoes and step into the warm rush of it, and the water wraps your feet like a pair of old hands. Everyone is laughing, soaked, transformed. What if the quietest hours are the ones that teach you most? What if the quietest hours are the ones that teach you most? What if sleep were like this rain, arriving unannounced and covering everything at once, washing the dust from every surface and leaving the world newly made? You stand in the downpour, letting it drench you, and you feel the long, dry season of your own life finally broken open. When it passes, the sky clears to a blue so tender. The sky clears to a blue so tender. After the storm, steam rises from the warm stones, and the whole world is rinsed and shining. A frog sits on a step regarding you with ancient amphibian calm, as if to ask what you make of all this. You make nothing of it. You only stand in the clean air and let it hold you. Carries 100 clay pots on his head, stacked higher than you thought possible, and walks without a single wobble, as if balance were simply a decision. You watch him until he disappears around the corner, and you think about all the ways you have carried things that were never meant to be carried. At a shrine you watch a woman light a lamp and circle the flame with her hands, drawing the blessing into herself. She does it without hurry, and you find yourself mirroring her, your own hands making the same old gesture. It is not a prayer you know, but it is a prayer, and it finds a place in you. Dusk holds the whole sky in its arms, a mirror of violet and gold, and the boats are dark shapes gliding through that borrowed light. You sit at the water's edge and watch the day be gathered up and put away. It is a gentle thing, this ending. You feel sleep wrap around you the way the river wraps the shore. Sleep wrap around you the way the river wraps the shore. Behind you, a flute begins, a long, single line of melody that seems to be thinking out loud. It is not asking for anything. It is only describing, in the only language, the color of the hour and the shape of the water and the smallness and sweetness of being alive. You wait here in the gray hour, and there is a lamplighter moving through the lane, touching each small flame, and the world goes from dark to dotted with gold, like a map of constellations laid on the earth. You follow at a distance, not to approach, just watch the quiet work of making light were a place you were always meant to visit, not to escape your life, but to find the life underneath it, the one that was there before the hurry was added. You sit with this question by the river as the light begins, and it does not feel like a question anymore. You meet a blind musician at the temple gate who sings with a voice that holds the whole sky in it, and a crowd gathers to listen in perfect stillness. When he finishes, someone presses coins into his hand, and someone else brings him water, each one by name. Though he cannot see their faces, sits cross-legged in his doorway, sewing with a needle that flashes in and out of the cloth like a small silver fish. He measures you with his eyes, and without a word, holds up a length of cloth and makes a gesture that means, "This is for you." And you give yourself gladly to the dark that the sun is high and the shade is scarce, and you find yourself in a grove of old trees where the light falls green and cool. You sit at the root of a great fig, and a leaf drifts down and lands in your lap, and you pick it up and study the road map of its evenings. You watch a boy fly a kite from the rooftop of his house, the string disappearing up into a sky the color of rose and ash. The kite is a tiny dark shape pulled by the wind, and the boy gives it line and takes it back to dance on the thread of his attention. The night comes down, and you climb to the temple roof, where the whole town is spread before you, a carpet of warm lights threaded with the dark ribbon of the river. Someone has left a flute playing from a far rooftop, thin and sweet across the roofs. You sit with your back to a carved lion and let the hour wait you on the 71st morning of this life, though you have stopped counting, and you find a garland of jasmine on your doorstep with no note and no name. Someone has given you beauty while you slept and asked for nothing back all day, and every time you catch its scent, you remember that you are held by a world you do not fully understand. Your city is a body today, breathing, moving, and you are a single cell carried along in its great warm current. Thousands of voices rise like a tide, and you hear none of them clearly. And yet, you are not lonely, because the noise is a kind of company that asks nothing of you. What if sleep were the one promise the world always keeps? Were the one promise the world always sleeps? Were the one place where the crowd cannot follow, where the thousand voices fall silent, and there is only you, meeting yourself for the first time in years. Here, between the waves of people, you steal those moments back. A pause on a step, eyes closed, breath crowd flows past, and does not know it is carrying a person who has just remembered. You follow the sound of 100 bells up a long street to a temple whose gate is alive with figures, dancers, and monsters and gods all tangled in the stone. You pass through, and the noise falls behind you, and you are in a courtyard of extraordinary quiet, where the bells seem to ring inside your chest instead of outside. You are in a courtyard of extraordinary quiet, where the bells seem to ring inside your chest instead of outside. The priest touches your forehead with ash and murmurs a blessing you will not remember, but your body will. The ash is cool, and the words are warm, and between them, something in you is made whole without your understanding how. He smiles and gestures that you are welcome here. No you wander into a quarter where the houses are painted the colors of the sunset, pink and ochre, and the blue of the evening sky, and every wall is a canvas of some patient hand. A girl paints a bird on the wall above her doorway and steps back to admire it. Then adds one. The feather of the 1,000 pillars swallows you into a forest of stone. Row after row of carved columns receding into shadow, and the light falls between them in long silver beams. You walk slowly, touching each pillar. As you pass, you breathe out, and sleep, patient and warm, waves you over and offers you tea from a clay cup, and you sip it together in the shade of his awning while the street moves past. He asks nothing, sells nothing. He only wanted the company of a stranger for a cup of tea to go. He presses a small brass bell into your palm and closes your fingers. The surrounded of 100 fires drifts through the evening air, and the whole town smells of wood and spice and wet earth. You breathe it in like a memory you never had, and it settles you deeper than any word could. You find a rooftop and watch the smoke rise and curl. You learn to read the hour by the light instead of the clock, and it is a language you have always known but forgotten, like a mother tongue. The low gold of late afternoon tells you the women are at the river. The violet hour tells you the bells are near. The first stars tell you the lamps are being lit. Pulls a cart of hay through the street, and the whole lane steps aside with a patience you never had for traffic. The driver dozes, trusting the bullock, trusting the street, trusting the world to keep its own slow appointment. You watch the cart pass, and you think of all the rushing. A song comes from behind a wall, a woman's voice rising and falling in a scale you cannot place, and you stop to listen without seeing her face. It is the loneliest and most beautiful thing you have heard, and it is being sung, you realize, for no one or for the wall. And you know now that rest is not a loss, but or for the wall. And you know now that rest is not a loss, but you have been here long enough now that the faces are becoming familiar. The tea seller, the tailor, the boy with the goats. And they nod to you as you pass, as if you belong, as if you have always walked this lane. It is a strange and tender thing to be absorbed by a place that did not climb to a high place at midday and look down at the great river, and it is a sheet of molten silver too bright to look at directly. Boats cross it like insects on a mirror. You shield your eyes and watch the water erase its own history every second. Never holding a single moment follows you at a careful distance all afternoon. And when you finally turn and smile at him, he runs up and shows you the toad he has found, holding it out in his palms like a treasure. You crouch and look at the toad together, two strangers united in wonder at a small green animal. He names it for you to help a potter at his wheel, your hands clumsy where his are sure, and he laughs kindly and guides your fingers until a small bowl begins to rise from the gray mud. It is crooked and yours, and he fires it for you and gives it to you, and you hold it like something sacred comes down like a blessing, and every window blooms with a small flame, and the town turns into a constellation you can walk through. You move from light to light, from doorway to doorway, and each one greets you with the same soft, golden yes. What if sleep is simply the world's way of holding you for a while? What if sleep is simply the world's way of holding you for a while? You sit in on a storytelling at the temple, where an old man with a voice like gravel and honey unfolds a tale of kings and rivers, and a crow that carried a message across the world. Children sit cross-legged at his feet, and you sit behind them, and you are all children. A stranger together loans you his umbrella when a sudden shower catches you, and walks on into the rain without it, looking back to smile. You stand under his umbrella, dry and shamed and grateful, and you call after him, but he only waves. When the rain stops, you leave the umbrella at his doorway. Find a room of dancers' bells on a temple wall. 100 small brass clusters hung in rows, and you wonder at the music they have made, the hours of spinning and stamping they have witnessed. You take one down, and a thin, bright sound fills the room, and you are suddenly, inexplicably, near the monk you met on the bank. Finds you again in a market, and he smiles as if he had known you would be here, though he has no way of knowing. He walks with you for a while in silence, and the silence is not empty, but full. The way a well you spend a night on a charpai on a roof, under a sky so thick with stars it seems to be breathing, and you name them in your own language, until you fall silent with the effort of counting so many. The Milky Way is a river of light running overhead. You are learning that sleep, like kindness, comes more easily when invited. Sleep or the way home, not to a house or a place, but to a self that was always there underneath, a self you buried under years of becoming someone else. Here, you have been shedding that other self, leaving a little of it in every lane and every kindness. What remains is lighter, a line of devotees, winds slowly toward a shrine at the top of a hill, each one carrying a small offering, and you fall in at the back because the pull of the procession is gentle, and you are not. The climb is long, and the sun is warm, and the people around you sing in low voices. A woman offers you a handful of roasted gram, and you eat it walking, and it is salty and warm and good, and you share it with a goat that has decided to accompany you for a while. The goat walks with you for a full hour, and when it turns aside into a lane of its own choosing, the sun has begun to set over the river, and the sky is a slow collision of apricot and gray, and the water catches it all and holds it, turning, changing, the way a mind holds a thought before it lets you sit at the edge and let the evening happen to you without trying to keep any of it. Elephant rests in the shade and lets you stand close, and its eye regards you with a kindness so old and so vast that you feel seen in a way you have never quite been seen before. It blinks, and in the hush of rest, you find the quietest version of yourself. You hear a sound like the sea, and follow it to find a great hall where 100 women are singing together, their voices rising and falling in waves, and the sound fills the stone and your chest with it. You sit at the back and let the tide of it move you, and you do not need you find words. A small shrine to the river itself, and you learn that here the river is not a thing, but a person, a goddess, a mother, and people speak to her as they would speak to a beloved elder. You sit and listen to a woman tell the river her troubles softly, and the river says nothing. You spend an hour watching a spider repair its web in a doorway, patient as a clock, and you are gripped by it, by the smallness and the perfection of its work. When it is done, it waits at the center, and you realize you have been holding your breath. You let it out. The heat breaks with a storm at dusk, and the rain comes down in ropes, and everyone runs laughing into doorways, and you run with them, and a stranger pulls you under his awning and hands you a cloth to dry your face. The storm pounds the roof, and the street becomes a river, and you stand pressed together with people you have never met. Pounds the roof, and the street becomes a river, and you stand pressed together with people you have never met. The sound of water, and you cannot place it at first, and then you remember there is no tap, no pipe, no machine, only the monsoon drumming on the roof and the gutters singing. You lie still and let the rain be your alarm, your company, and you understand that rest, too, is a kind of remembering. Sleep and rain are the same teacher, both of them arriving without warning, both of them covering everything, both of them leaving the world softer than they found it. You sit in a doorway and watch the rain teach the dust to become mud, to become quiet, and the quiet to become rest. Rises with the rain, and the ghats grow busy with people come to watch its new strength. And you stand among them at the water's edge, feeling the small tremor of all that moving water through your feet. It is a living thing, this river, and it is swollen and quick. You follow a path that runs beside the river, and the path leads you to a grove of old banyans where the air is green and cool, and a peacock steps across the moss like it owns the world, which it does. It sees you and pauses, and for a long moment, you and the peacock regard a group of children pull you into a game in a courtyard, a simple chasing game that needs no words, and you run and dodge and are caught and caught again. And you are laughing so hard you have to stop and lean on your knees. It has been years since you meet a fortune teller who reads your palm in the shade of a neem tree, and he traces the lines of your hand with a fingertip that is surprisingly warm. He tells you, in fragments of English and a language of gestures, what if sleep were simply the world teaching you to let go? Lights up the square tonight, and the music and colors spill into every doorway, and you find yourself dancing badly, joyfully, with people you have never met. No one minds that you do not know the steps. The steps, it seems, are for beginners and dancers. And the point is the turning, the day after the wedding. You find a lone earring lying in the dust of the square, a small silver thing, and you pick it up and turn it over. You cannot find its owner, so you leave it on a wall where someone will find it. Act of passing on the night's accidental treasure. It is a time you have begun to notice the things you used to miss. The shadow of a bird crossing a wall, the exact blue of the hour before rain, the weight of a warm stone in your hand. The world has slowed down enough for you to see it, and seeing it, you find it almost unbearably. You come upon a cremation ground by the river, and you are about to turn away, but an old man beckons you to sit, and you do, and you watch the fire and the smoke rise over the water. He speaks calmly of death as a ferry crossing, a short journey, nothing what to fear. Sleep is a little like that, a small death each night, a letting go of the day and the self that lived it, a trust that there will be a morning and a rising. You lie in the dark and hold the thought gently. You let the thought of sleep settle over you like a soft cloth. You meet a woman who sells flowers at the temple gate, and she has grown old in this one place, and she tells you, in a mixture of smiles and signs, that she has watched 1,000 strangers come and go, and that you are one of the kind ones. She can tell. She threads a small flower into your hair, mends your sandal on the spot. his needle flashing, and he refuses any payment, waving your hands away with a broad smile. Instead, he shows you how the strap is stitched, so you could do it yourself, and he laughs at the idea of anyone being able to do it alone. Nothing here is done alone. He seems to walk out at night to the river and find it full of small lights, lamps set afloat by people who carry their hopes on the water. You buy a lamp and set it down, and you watch it join the others, a fleet of tiny flames drifting toward the dark. You have nothing specific to wish for. Teaches you to spin a top, and you fail and fail, and finally, suddenly, you have it spinning on your palm, and you both shout with delight as if you had conquered a mountain. He takes the top back and spins it on a stone, and you learn the trick from him, the flick of the wrist. You find a library of palm leaf manuscripts in a quiet building, the pages held between carved boards, the writing like a row of tiny birds. A keeper shows you how to unroll them without breaking them, with two hands, slowly. You hold a text older than your whole country, older than your name and sleep. You have learned is the gentlest door. You have been here long enough to notice the seasons of the day, the way the bells change at noon, the way the shadows lean differently in the morning and evening, the way the river smells different at each hour. You have become a student of small changes. The world has rewarded you with its slow and endless unfolding. A man in the market, a stranger, stops you and presses a warm egg into your hand and tells you in gestures that his hen laid it this morning and that you should eat it, that you look thin, that the world must feed you. You stand in the crowd holding the egg, absurdly follow a drumbeat through winding lanes to a courtyard where a drum circle is in full sway, and the rhythm is so deep it lives in your bones and feet before it reaches your ears. You are handed a drum, and you fall into the pattern, clumsy, then confident, then lost in it. The smoke of the cooking fires climbs straight up in the still evening, and the whole town smells of wood and onions and bread, and you are hungry in a way that is entirely physical and entirely good. You find a place on a bench where a family makes room for you without a word, and you what if sleep is the forgiveness you have been waiting to give yourself, the permission to stop, to put down, to be small and still and unproductive and loved anyway. Here you have been practicing this forgiveness in 100 small ways: a nap in the shade, an hour doing nothing you think, how easily sleep has become a friend. An hour doing nothing you think, how easily sleep has become a friend. You watch a woman at the well draw water, her arms moving in a rhythm older than the town, and she fills her pot and balances it on her head and walks away without spilling a drop. You try it yourself, and the pot tips and soaks your shoulders warmly and shows you again, patient as you come to a place where the land rises into a ruined fort, its walls tumbled and golden, and you climb through the broken gates and sit on a high battlement and look out over the whole of the world you have come to love. The river, the town, the fields, the smoke, the people like ants moving on their patient errand, like ants moving on their patient errand, lives in a cave above the river, and you are brought to him by a goat that seems to know the way, and he is old beyond counting, and his eyes are clear as spring water. He speaks almost nothing, but he looks at you for a long while, and then he smiles. Down from the cave changed, though you could not say how, only that the world seems to fit you differently now. A garment that was too loose and is suddenly just right. The goat walks with you partway and then turns back, its duty done. You are not sure what was given to you in the river at night is so still tonight that the stars are doubled, one sky above and one below, and you cannot tell which is real and which is reflection, and you decide it does not matter. You sit between two skies and feel yourself held by both. You are learning what if the peace you are finding is a kind of waking sleep. You are learning what if the peace you are finding is a kind of waking sleep. You are woken before light by a sound you do not recognize. A low chanting that seems to come from the earth itself, and you rise and follow it to a temple where 100 voices are turning the dawn, drawing it up out of the dark with their stand at the back in the gray light, and let the chant pull you. You spend the morning learning to grind spices with a heavy stone, and the rhythm of it becomes a meditation, the pestle turning, the coriander breaking, the scent rising. Your arm aches and you do not care. The woman who teaches you sings as she works, a low, contented tune, and you find yourself humming it, and she beams. You are grinding a small string of bells and tie it to your wrist, and every time you move you hear a faint, bright sound, a reminder that you are here, that you are moving, that you are alive. It is a tiny thing, but it makes you feel connected to the temple bells, to the dancers' You sit bells. With the river as the sun goes down, and you understand that you have changed, that the person who arrived here is not the person who is sitting now, that something has been washed out of you, and something else has been washed in. You are not the same, and you are glad of a small grove where the old women of the lane gather in the evenings to talk and laugh and comb each other's hair, and they wave you over and make a place for you, and you sit among them, a young stranger in a circle of elders. You are learning that even rest can be a form of pot of rice is being made in the courtyard, and the steam rises in a soft column, and the children take turns stirring it a long wooden spoon, and you are given a turn, and you stir the way they show you slowly in a circle, and the rice turns glossy, and the smell fills you walk the air out into the fields where the new green is knee-high, and the air is full of the sound of insects and the far-off drum of a village. A farmer offers you a drink from his gourd, and you drink it, cool and sweet, and you stand together in the green and say almost you find nothing. A small shrine to the god of journeys, tucked behind a banyan, and a traveler has left a handful of rice and a tiny lamp, and you add a flower because you too are a traveler now, and you understand the need to leave a small offering at the door of the next road. You watch a kite fly up from a field and rise until it is a speck, and the boy holding the string is laughing with pure joy, and you think of how long it has been since you felt that, the clean joy of watching something you hold go higher than you thought possible. The boy lets out more string. The evening meal is being cooked over a dung fire, and the smoke is clean, and the smell of it is the smell of 100,000 evenings just like this one. And you sit by the fire and let it warm you, and a woman hands you a chapati straight off the griddle, and you feel sleep moving toward you like a slow, kind and a woman hands you a chapati straight off the griddle, and you feel sleep moving toward you like a slow, kind you help an old man unload his cart of firewood, and you carry the bundle on your head the way he shows you, and it is heavy, and it hurts, and you do it anyway. And when you are done, he presses a piece of jaggery into your hand, sweet and brown. You sit in on the evening talk at the well, where the women gather with their pots and their news, and the talk rises and falls like birds, and you catch a word here and there, and you are not left out, because a girl translates the funny parts for you, her eyes bright, and you laugh whenever you spend a whole day with a potter, and by evening you have made a water pot that is almost a pot, and he nods, a small approval that feels enormous, and you set it in the sun, and you understand that it will be fired and used and carried and filled and emptied 1,000 times. The dust of this old world has settled into your clothes and your hair and your lungs, and you have stopped trying to brush it off. You have become dust-colored, dust-hearted, a citizen of the soft haze that hangs over every lane at dusk. It is not dirt. You have come to see a man with a trident and a long matted beard sits by the road with a small fire, and he does not ask for anything, only looks at you with eyes that have seen the nothing behind everything. You sit with him a while. What if sleep has always been the truest home you carry? Is the oldest teacher, older than any temple, older than the carved gods, a school that has always been open and always been free. Here, in the drowsy middle of this slow world, you are its most willing student. You doze in the shade and wake softer eyes, and rise. A procession of holy men walks slowly through the town, their bodies dusted with ash and their voices a low rolling chant, and the people part for them with reverence. You stand at the edge and watch them pass, and one of them catches your eye and he looks at you a long moment, and then he smiles that the dust here is holy, that pilgrims gather it in small cloths to carry home, that to be covered in this particular dust is to be blessed. You take a handful of it yourself and let it run through your fingers, and it is just dust, gray-brown, and also somehow a piece of everything. Find a step that is your step now, worn just right, and you sit on it every evening as the light turns, and the tailor nods to you from his doorway, and the boy with the goats waves, and the woman with the water pot smiles. You have a place here, a corner of the world that you carry water now from the well to the house, a small task you have been given, and your arms remember the rhythm of it, the weight, the sway, the careful not spilling. The old woman who gave you the task watches you with amusement and approval. You let the day fall away, and sleep gathers you gently. A wandering minstrel stops at the square and sings a long tale of a king who gave away his kingdom, and the crowd listens in a hush that deepens and deepens, and at the end of the song there are tears on old faces and smiles on young ones. You stand at the back, and the afternoon heat has the whole town dozing, and even the dogs are asleep, and the only sound is the slow creak of a bullock cart and the distant water. You lie on your back on a roof with a cloth over your face, and you are part of the great communal sleep, a town breathing together through the hottest hours. You lie on your back on a roof with a cloth over your face, and you are part of the great communal sleep, a town breathing together through the hottest hours. A cow at the temple steps lowers its head to you as if in greeting, and you bow back, and it seems a fair exchange. Its eyes are patient and huge, and you can see the whole of the world in them, softened and you stand there a long while, the cow and the stranger, and you feel an absurd. You notice you have stopped planning, that your mind has let go of the future the way a hand lets go of a rope, and there is only this, the next meal, the next step, the next lamp. It is terrifying, and it is liberating. You are living for the first time without a sleep and trust are the same lesson, both of them a letting go, a falling into something you cannot see and believing it will hold you. You test this at night now, lying in the dark and letting go a little more each time, and you understand that to rest is to come back to yourself. Meet a man who walks on his hands through the town, upside down, and his face, level with your knees, is serene and smiling. He speaks to you in that position as if it were the most natural, and you find yourself speaking back to a pair of sandals and a smiling face. He asks in gestures. Watch a weaver at a great loom, and the threads go in as gray and come out as gold, and the cloth grows an inch at a time, a lifetime at a time. He has been at this loom for 40 years, and you see in his face the calm of a man who has found his one true work. Wander into the dying quarter, where bolts of cloth hang in rivers of color, saffron and indigo, and the red of pomegranate, and the air smells of marigold. A dyer dips a length of white cloth into a vat, and it comes out the blue of the evening sky, and you breathe in. You have taken to wearing the clothes of this world now, loose and light and colored like the earth, and you move differently in them, unhurried, open. The old woman who first fed you laughs to see you and says something that makes the whole lane laugh. And though you do not understand the words, you understand that you have been accepted. Understand that you have been accepted. A festival of lights is being prepared, and the whole town is washing its walls and its steps and its lamps. And you are given a broom and a bucket and put to work. You scrub a doorstep until a gleam brings you water, and a smile. What if the quietest hours are the ones that teach you? The lamps are hung by the hundreds, strings of them across every lane, and the children are given the honor of lighting them one by one, and the whole town holds its breath as the first flames catch. You are given a lamp to light yourself, and you do it carefully, and when it catches, you feel a small surge of the same pride you felt with your first. The festival night comes down like a dream, and the town is a river of flame and music and moving color, and you are carried through it, dancing, singing words you do not know, laughing with strangers who have become friends. The whole world seems lit from within tonight, and you are lit. What if sleep is a festival too, a nightly celebration of letting go, of dancing into the dark with your eyes closed and trusting you will be caught by morning? You lie in the dark after the festival, still ringing with music, and you let the rhythm and you slow. Let the day dissolve, and you fall the day gently. After the festival. The town is quiet and spent, and the diyas have burned down to small warm embers, and the smell of lamp smoke hangs over everything like a blessing. You walk through the spent celebration, and you are not sad, only full. The joy has not gone anywhere. It has only moved inside. The joy has not gone anywhere. It has only moved inside. A sadhu sits by the river and holds one arm raised above his head, so still for so long that birds have begun to trust him. One landing on his shoulder. You watch him and you understand dimly that this is a discipline beyond anything you know, a stillness purchased with years. You feel sleep wrap around you the way the river wraps the shore. Sleep wrap around you the way the river wraps the shore. A woman offers you her own food, her own leaf, her own portion, and you try to refuse, and she insists, and you eat, and she watches you with a fierce tenderness, as if you were her son returned from a long journey. You have been fed so many times here that you have lost count. You find a quiet pond behind a temple where lotus flowers float like small pink lamps, and a turtle suns itself on a warm stone. You sit at the edge and watch the water striders skate across the surface. Pond is a small world of slow and careful lives. You are in no hurry here to read the smoke, the way it rises straight in the still air and leans in the wind, the way it means rain or fair weather, the way it carries the news of every kitchen. You can tell now what is being cooked in half the lanes, and you have begun to be hungry at the right hour. Watch a man build a wall, and he does not rush, laying each stone and checking it, and laying the next, and the wall grows evenly and true. He stops to drink water and offers and you sit some with him and watch the wall grow a little more. You had always rushed your work, your life. You are given a name by the children of the lane, a nonsense name that makes everyone laugh. And now they call it to you from doorways and rooftops, and you answer to it, grinning. It is a ridiculous name, and it is yours, and you give yourself gladly to the dark that the monsoon has greened everything, and the brown plains have become a sea of tender green, and the dust has been laid at last, and the air is clean and heavy with growing things. You walk out into the green, and the world is lush and soft, and you had only ever known this country. You sit in a field as the sun sets, and watch a farmer and his bullocks turn the same furrow their grandfathers turned. And you understand that this is not repetition, but ritual, that the earth is kept by 1,000 unhurried hands, passing down their one true task. You have no such task, and you feel not loss. You have no such task, and you feel not loss. What if sleep is the furrow you turn every night, the small patient work that keeps you soft and fertile and ready for the morning's planting? You lie in the dark and let the thoughts settle. You have been doing this work all your life without honoring it. Here you have begun to honor it, to rest with a tailor's wife shows you how to fold a sari, and you fumble it into a billowing disaster, and she laughs until she has to sit down, and then she shows you again, patient, and by the fourth try you have something that might pass. She claps her hands at your triumph, and you feel a absurdly you come upon a man tuning a temple bell, tapping it gently with a hammer and listening. And you realize you have never once thought about how a bell finds its note, how it is coaxed and corrected until it rings true, watching and waves you over what if sleep were the one promise the world always keeps. You watch a woman grind lentils into flour on a stone, and the sound is a steady heartbeat that keeps time with the whole afternoon. She works without hurry, without boredom, and you are struck by how content she is, how full of the work she is. You have never been content in your work, only busy. You meet a boy who is learning to read from an old man, and they sit together in the shade and sound out the letters, one word at a time, and the boy's face lights up at each small triumph. You sit nearby and listen, and you are moved by the patience of the old man. You have stopped needing to be interesting, and it is a weight you had not known you were carrying. Here, no one requires you to perform, to impress, to justify your place in the room. You are simply here, and that is enough. And the world keeps its gentle machinery of bells and lamps and kindness running around you without demanding a single thing in the world. Keeps its gentle machinery of bells and lamps and kindness running around you without demanding a single thing in return. You learn the word for thank you, and you say it to everyone, and you are surprised how often the word comes back to you, how often it is you who is thanked for a smile, for helping with a pot, for simply the gratitude there. Flows both ways here, a river that circles, and you are caught. You stand on the roof at dusk and watch the swallows pour across the sky in a great dark river, thousands of them, their flight a single flowing shape that changes and changes and never breaks. You watch until they are gone, and the sky is empty, and the first stars appear. You breathe out, and sleep steps closer, patient. What if sleep is a flock of swallows, 1,000 small selves that pour across the dark of the night together and reassemble in the morning as one whole you, changed and replenished. You lie in the dark and let the thought you do not need to understand it. You only need to let the night do its whole potter work. Makes a dia for you, small and perfect, and he hands it to you with both hands, a gesture of giving you have learned to read as respect. You hold the little lamp and feel its cool clay weight, and you carry it home, and that night you light it and set it on your windowsill. You have learned the hours of the lane, who comes when, the milkman before light, the bread at mid-morning, the vegetable cart at noon, the lamplighter at dusk. The lane is a clock made of people, and you are learning to read it, and you have begun to anticipate the cart's rattle and the bell's first ring. Shows you her collection of smooth river stones, each one chosen and kept for its particular beauty. she lets you hold them one by one, watching your face for your reaction. You hold each one and find the beauty she found, the stripe, the fleck, the perfect oval. And you see that she has been collecting the river's small gifts all her life. And you see that she has been collecting the river's small gifts all her life. You sit in on a debate at the temple, where two old men argue about the nature of the soul with more heat than you have seen anyone give to anything in your old life. And yet, there is no anger in it, only passion, love of the argument itself. And you know now that rest is not a loss, but you are shown how to make a flower garland, threading the marigolds one by one onto a string. And it takes you the whole afternoon to make a short one. And the woman beside you makes 10 without looking. She laughs at your slow work kindly, and she tells you in signs that the garland is for God. You find a small book of poetry in a language you cannot read, and you carry it with you and open it at random. And even without understanding the words, you are moved by the shape of them on the page, the way the script curls like a tendril, the way the lines seem to breathe. The river is low now, the monsoon memory fading, and the old stones of the ghats stand bare above the water. And you can see the rings the generations have you run your hand over the worn stone, and feel the millions of palms that have rested there before yours. And you are one. A woman sings as she pounds grain in a stone mortar, and the pestle falls in time with her song, and the grain turns to flour as the song turns to the next verse. And you see that here work and song are the same thing. This world has never separated them. You take a turn with the pestle, but if sleep is a song you join every night without knowing the words, a rhythm you fall into with your eyes closed, a music that has been playing since before you were born and will play long after. You lie in the dark and listen for it. It is. What if sleep is simply the world's way of holding you? You help a family with a harvest, and for 3 days you are in the field from light to dark, your back aching, your hands blistered, your heart full. At the end of the 3rd day, they press warm bread and fresh butter into your hands, and they sing, and you stand in the lantern light of the threshing floor. You sit at the temple gate as the last pilgrims leave, and the lamps are trimmed, and the great doors begin to close, and you are the last one, the keeper waiting patiently for you to go. You rise, and you turn and look back at the darkening temple, and you bow, a small gesture, and the keeper tie a length of cloth, and you are taught to tie it the way the holy men tie theirs, and you wear it, and you feel not holy, but connected, a thread joining you to the 1,000 other people who tie their cloth the same way, the same gesture, morning after morning. It is a small watch. The children of the lane make a god out of mud by the roadside, a small figure smiling face and a crown of leaves, and they deck it with marigolds and light a lamp before it and treat it with total, serious reverence. One of them invites you to add a flower, and you do. You sit by the river in the hour when the light fails and the water goes dark and the lamps begin to float out, and you let the day leave you the way the light leaves the water, slowly, without a fight. You have been holding onto your day life. You are learning that sleep, like kindness, comes more easily. You learn that the old ones here speak to the dead softly at the river, and you sit near an old man who talks to the water in a low voice, telling it about his wife who is gone. And you are not afraid, only moved, that grief can be spoken to a river, and have come to love the sound of the temple bells at noon, when the sun is high and the town rests, and the bells ring out into the heat like a cool call, and you have begun to measure your days by them, to know that when the noon bells ring it is time to find shade and water. What if sleep is the great bell that rings every night, calling the world home to itself, calling each small soul back to the dark that made it, the rest that renews it. You lie in the dark and let the imagined bell ring through you, deep, and you answer it with your breathing, slowing, deepening, and you meet a woman who was a dancer in her youth, and she shows you with surprising grace the old positions of her hands, the gestures of the gods, and her face lights up as she remembers. She teaches you one gesture, the lotus, and you try it, and she adjusts your fingers. You walk the length of the river at night, from the burning ghat to the quiet grove, and you feel the whole arc of a life in the water, the endings and the beginnings, the going out and the coming in. And in the hush of rest, you find the quietest version of yourself. You have begun to rise before the sun, not because you must, but because you want to see the world be made again. And you stand at your window each dawn and watch the gray turn to rose, and the rose to gold. You are present at a miracle that has happened every day forever, and will happen every day. You are sitting in the shade of a neem tree, and a leaf falls into your lap, and you pick it up and see that it is half-eaten, traced with the delicate lacework of a caterpillar, and you hold it up to the light, and it is more beautiful than any perfect leaf, because it has been. A man in the lane invites you to his son's naming ceremony, and you attend with the whole neighborhood, and you watch the priest whisper the name into the baby's ear, and you understand that here a name is given as a kind of gift, a blessing, something the child will grow into. When the ceremony you find yourself at last, no longer a tourist of this world, no longer someone passing through, but someone who belongs to it, who is expected, who has a step and a name, and a handful of daily errands, and a family of strangers imperceptibly, the way a river wears it has happened slowly, imperceptibly, the way a river wears a stone. You lie in the dark on your 110th night in this world, and you try to remember the sound of the life you left, the hum of the machines, the chime of the messages, the endless small alarms, and you find you cannot quite recall it, and you understand that rest, too, is a kind of spend an evening learning a board game from an old man who has played it for 80 years, and he beats you again and again, patiently, explaining each move, and you lose with joy, because losing to someone who has loved a game for 80 years is not losing at all. It is an honor, an education. You have stopped feeling the ache of your old life, the low, constant hum of wanting something you could not name. It is gone, and in its place there is a simple contentment, the kind a stone has, the kind a river has, the kind a person has when they have finally stopped trying to be somewhere else. You are the sleep you have been given here is not an escape, but an arrival, a long, slow homecoming to the person you were always meant to be, a person who is not the one you left behind, but the one who was waiting underneath. You hold this thought as you lie. You help string up the lights for a small evening gathering, and you hold the ladder as a young man climbs, and you pass him the garlands, and you feel useful, a small part of a shared preparing. When the lights come on, the whole courtyard glows, and everyone turns to look, and you walk the gats one last time in the gray hour before the sun, and you have walked them so often now that your feet know them. Every worn step, every uneven stone, every place where the water has eaten the edge. What if sleep were simply the world teaching you to sit at the river as the sun rises on what you think may be your last full day, and you do not count the days anymore, only this one, and you give it your whole attention, the way you have learned to. The light arrives on the water, and you watch it the way a child watches a fire. You understand now why the holy men come here to end their lives, why they walk into the water or sit at the burning ghat and wait, not because they fear the ending, but because they have finished, because they have seen everything the world has to show them and are ready, full, unafraid. You are not ready, because they have seen everything the world has to show them and are ready, full, unafraid. You are not ready. You spend the evening sharing a meal with the family that first fed you, and they have decided you are theirs now, and they feed you more than you can eat and laugh at your protests and fill your hands again. At the end of the meal, the grandmother takes your hand and presses it to her heart in the gray dawn, and you know, with a quiet certainty that does not frighten you, that your time here is drawing to a close. The world has not asked you to leave, but you feel the river of your days turning, 100 others. You walk the lane one last time, and you notice you are memorizing it, the exact lean of the doorways, the way the light falls on the worn step that is yours, the knot of children who call your ridiculous name. You want to keep all of it. You let the thought of sleep settle over you like a soft What if cloth. Sleep is the leaving, the daily letting go of the world you love in order to find it again? The same leaving you are doing now, the same ache, the same trust that you will be returned. You hold this as you take your last cup of tea at the stall where the bread woman has been feeding you for all these days. With the goats finds you by the river and gives you one of his small brass bells, the one he wears himself, and he ties it to your wrist with serious ceremony, a gift of himself, a remembrance. You wear it, and it rings faintly as you understand you have been given something. You visit the temple one last time, and you sit in the inner courtyard, and the bells begin, and you let them ring through you as you have 100 times before, and you understand that you are not saying goodbye to the temple, but the temple is saying goodbye to you, that it has held you, and it is releasing you. At the river at noon, and you look at the water, and you see, for a moment, not the river of this world, but the river of your own life, and you understand that you have been given the gift of seeing your whole arc from a distance, from the safe, high bank of this you have packed nothing, because you came with nothing, and you will leave with nothing but what the world has pressed into you, the patience, the stillness, the 100 kindnesses, the sound of the bells, the taste of the bread, the weight of a warm stone in your pocket. And sleep, you have learned, is the gentlest door of all. You have learned is the gentlest door. The family that adopted you gathers to see you off, and they press sweets into your hands and small gifts, a cloth, a lamp, a little bell, and they do not ask you to stay, only to remember, only to come back, only the grandmother holds your face in her 2 hands and looks at you a long walk to the edge of the town where the road leaves the last houses behind, and you turn and look back, and the whole of the place is laid out in the golden light, the temple, the river, the smoke, the rooftops, and it is unbearably beautiful, and you let yourself feel it fully, this love, this ache, this gratitude. And you let yourself feel it fully, this love, this ache, this gratitude. The road leaves the green fields and enters a country that is growing stranger, and you feel the pull of the old world returning, the hum of it, the speed of it, and you resist it, walking slowly, deliberately, the way this world taught you. You have been given a gift. You understand. You come at last to a place you recognize, a threshold where the 2 worlds meet, and you stand on it a long moment, and you look back at the soft gold of the world. You are leaving and ahead at the gray speed of the world. you are returning to, and you understand that you belong. You step through, and the change is instant and total, and you are standing in the room you left, the room of the life that was never quite yours, and the phone is charging on the table, and the screens glow, and the hum is everywhere you think. How easily sleep has become a friend. You look at your hands, and they are the same hands that held the warm stone, that poured the water, that carried the pot, that threaded the marigolds. And you are glad that your body remembers, even if the room has forgotten. You move through the room slowly, touching nothing, and you realize that the objects around you, the machines, the screen, pick up the phone, and you see the messages, the demands, the urgent small fires of 1,000 days you missed. And they look strange to you now, like a language you have half forgotten, like noise from a distant shore. You put it down without answering a single one, and you understand that you have been given a great and terrible clarity. And you understand that you have been given a great and terrible clarity. You sit in the window of the room, and you watch the world hurry past. The cars, the people with their phones, the lights changing, and it all moves at a speed you can no longer match, and you do not want to match it, and you feel a great calm settle. What if sleep was not the escape from your life, but the truest thing in it, the place where you practiced being the person you have now become, the slow one, the patient one, the one who can sit with a stranger and feel full. You hold this thought in the gray room, and it is a lamp, small. You try to tell someone, a friend, a neighbor, what you have seen, and the words come out small and strange, and they look at you with polite confusion, and you give up, and you are not frustrated, only a little because lonely. You have seen something they have not. What if the peace you are finding is a kind of waking you find sleep, that you have changed the way you move through your old life, that you walk slower, that you stop to look at the sky, that you let the kettle boil without checking that your phone, that you leave the dishes and go to the window when the light turns gold. Small acts, invisible to anyone, but they are your quiet. You begin to light a dia each evening, a small clay lamp you brought back, and you set it on the windowsill and watch it burn. And the room fills with a light the machines cannot make, a warm and patient light, and you sit by it as the evening comes down. The neighbors begin to notice the lamp, and one asks about it, and you tell them haltingly about the old world, and they listen, and one of them brings you a clay cup, and another leaves a marigold on your step, and you are not sure if they understand. But it does not matter, because the little flame has begun to dream of the old world most nights now, and the dreams are so real you can smell the river and feel the warm stone, and you wake with the ache and the sweetness of it, and you because you have been given a country to visit in your sleep, a soft and golden country that is always there. You understand now that the old world was never a place you were teleported to, but a way of being that was always waiting inside you. A slower, softer, truer self. And that the teleportation was only the permission to find it. You are learning that even rest can be a form of walk to a park in the middle of the city, and you find a bench under a tree, and you sit, and you close your eyes, and you let the hum of the city fall away, and you are back by the river for a long, quiet moment, and you open your eyes, and the city is there. The bells on your wrist, the boy's bell and the dancer's bell, and they ring faintly as you move through your old life. A small, constant music under the hum, and every time you hear them, you are brought back to the river, to the temple, to the boy with the goats, and you smile. A private smile is the place where you are finally honest, where the performance stops and the truest self steps forward. And you have been practicing honesty here, in this waking life, learning to be the person you are at night, slow and patient and kind. And the two are becoming one. The waking and the sleeping, the city, the river. You find you can call up the old world at will now. A doorway you can open by breathing slow and closing your eyes. And you visit it in the middle of the day, at a stoplight, at a desk, and you stand again at the temple gate. And the peace is always there, waiting, patient, as it taught you to be. In your own world hands you a flower, a weed, a piece of green, and you take it, and you thank them, and you remember the children of the lane, and you see that the kindness is everywhere, that it was never only in the old world, and you feel sleep moving toward you like a slow, kind. You light the diya each evening, and you have come to love the hour it burns, the soft turning of the room from gray to gold, and you sit in it and let the old world come to you, and it does, a visitor that is also a home, and you understand that you have been given a gift. The machines cannot stop worrying about whether the time was real, whether the old world existed, whether you dreamed it or were teleported to it. Because the question is not whether it was real, but whether it made you more real. And it did. It did. And that is the only truth that matters. The only proof you find that you are kinder now, without effort, that the sharpness has gone out of you, that you have patience for the slow cashier, the lost tourist, the crying child, and you are not trying to be kind. You just are, the way a river is wet, and you think of the old world, of the hands that fed you, about the old world, about the temples and the river and the pilgrims, and you find the names of the places you were, and you trace them with your finger, and you feel a pull in your chest, a homesickness for a place you cannot prove you ever were, and you smile at the strangeness. Someone who has also been changed by a place, a traveler, a pilgrim, and you sit and talk for an hour about rivers and temples and the peace you both found, and you do not need to prove anything to each other, because you both know what if sleep has always been the truest home. You have kept the warm stone from the girl, and the small bell from the boy, and the leaf-wrapped bread you never ate, and you have placed them on a shelf with the diya, a small shrine to the old world, and you tend it each evening, dusting it, lighting the flame. What if sleep is the thread that sews your two worlds together? The nightly stitch that joins the river to the city, the temple to the desk, the golden to the gray, until they are one cloth, one life, one you. You lie in the dark and feel the stitching happen. The two selves become stopped being afraid of being ordinary, and it is a freedom you did not know existed, because the old world showed you that ordinary is the most beautiful thing there is. The worn step, the daily bread, the lamp that burns and goes out round life of an unremarkable person. And you are glad to be ordinary. You understand that you do not need to go back to the old world, because you have brought it back with you, that it lives in your hands and your patience and your evening lamp, and that you can make a corner of it anywhere, that the peace is not a place but a way, and the way is you find yourself smiling at strangers in the city, and some smile back and some do not, and it does not matter, because you are smiling at them the way the old world smiled at you, unconditionally, expecting nothing. And you have learned that a smile given freely is a small lamp you let the day fall away, and sleep gathers you gently, you return in your walking to the river that runs through your own city, the one you never noticed before, and you sit by it and watch it move. And it is not the Ganges, but it is a river, and it holds the sky the same way that the old world did not give you a place so much as a way you have a small ritual now before sleep, and you guard it fiercely, this 10 minutes of stillness, of breathing, of returning to the river in your mind. And you have found that sleep comes easier, deeper, kinder, now that you invite it, now that you treat it as a friend rather than a loss. Sometimes whether you will ever go back, whether the threshold will open for you again, and you decide that you do not need to know, that the not knowing is itself a kind of faith, the faith the old world taught you, that the river will still be there, that the lamps will still be lit. The old world has given you a new measure of time, and you find you can no longer live by the clock the way you once did, that you measure your days by the light and the hunger and the tiredness, the way the old world measured them, and you are slower, and you are fuller, and you realize that you have been teleported all along, not away from your life, but into it, that the old world was the true one, and this hurrying one is the dream you are finally waking. The waking has been long and soft and full of bells, and you understand that to rest is to come back to yourself. Sleep was never the small death of the day, but the daily birth of the true self. And you have been being born slowly, all these nights, into the person the old world showed you, patient and kind and slow. You lie in the dark and let the thought hold you, and you feel the birth still. You lap an idea and you sit with it, and you realize you are not remembering the old world anymore, but living in it, that the boundary has dissolved, that the river and the room are the same place, that the temple and the window are the same door, and you are whole in a way you have carried the water up from the well in your mind. You thread the marigolds, you grind the spices, and these small acts of the old world have become your prayers, your way of returning, and you find that they steady you the way the river steadied you, that the doing of an old thing by hand is a kind of sleep. Learned that you can be lonely in a crowd and not lonely by a river, and that the difference is not the place but the attention. And you practice the river's attention in the city now, a still pool inside the noise, and it holds you, and you are not lonely even in the crowded hours. Meet the traveler again by chance in a cafe, and you tell him you have kept the bells and the stone and the lamp, and he tells you he has kept a handful of the dust, and you both laugh. What if the quietest hours are the ones that teach you? Are learning to sleep in the old way now, unhurried, unafraid, treating the night as a friend, and you have found that your sleep has become deeper, and your waking has become softer, that the two are trading the gifts. Old world taught you to rest, and the rest is teaching you to live, and you are grateful. You understand at last that the modern world was never really yours, that you were a visitor in it, the way you were a visitor in the old world, but that this world has made you a citizen in a way the other never could, that you belong truly to the slow and the patient, and give away a thing you once treasured, a possession you have been holding, and you give it to someone who needs it more, and you watch it become useful, and you feel the old lightness again, the lightness of the day you gave away your cloth, and you understand that the old world is still working. You find you have stopped comparing your life to the lives of others, that the old envy has gone quiet, because the old world showed you that every life is a river, moving at its own pace toward its own sea, and there is no faster or slower, no better or worse, only different currents, that you are lighting 1,000 diyas, one for every kind stranger, one for every kindness, and the whole plain below you is a sea of small, warm flames, and you are weeping with the beauty of it with wet eyes, and a full heart, you feel sleep wrap around you, the way the river wraps what if the shore. Sleep is the greatest kindness you can give yourself, the one you were never taught to give, the permission to stop and be held by the dark. And you have been practicing this kindness all these nights, and you are good at it now, and you offer it to yourself the way the old world offered you bread. You have found your way back to the old world in the only way that matters, in the way you move, the way you rest, the way you give. And you carry its bells and its river and its patience in every step. And you are no longer two people, the visitor and the resident, but one person. You keep the diya burning and you watch it. And you understand that this small flame is the whole of what you learned. That the world is full of small, warm lights trying to be seen. And that you are one of them. And that your light matters as much as any, no more. And you walk in the city, and you let it be the river, the crowds, the current, the lights, the lamps. And you move through it the way you moved through the old world, slowly, patiently, openly. And it is the same world you see, the same great moving river of souls. And you are in it, you ride of it at last, the thing you have been carrying, the story of the old world, and you set it down in words, the river, the temples, the kindness, the peace, and you read it back, and you are surprised at how small the words are against the size of what you felt, and you give yourself gladly to the dark that renews you, that you understand that you were never meant to stay in the old world, that it was given to you as a gift, a glimpse, a long, slow lesson in how to be, and that you were meant to bring it back and live it, that the peace was not for you to keep in a far place, but to carry into this one. Burns down each night, and each night you light it again, and you have come to love the faith of it, the small daily trust that the flame will catch, that the wax will hold, that the morning will come. And you have learned that trust from the old world, and you practice it now one evening to the place in your city where the water touches the land, the little harbor, the edge of the river, and you stand there, and you set a small lamp afloat, the way you did in the old world, and you watch it drift into the dark, and you feel the two rivers. You have been given the gift of not needing to go back, and you hold it carefully, because you know that needing a place is a kind of poverty, and that having it always with you is the only wealth. And you are rich now, rich in the way the old world made you, rich in patience and kindness. What if sleep has been all along the road home, and you have been traveling it every night, and the old world was one of its great stations, and now you are learning to live in the country, the country of the slow and the patient and the kind. What if sleep were the one promise the world always keeps? You light the diya, and you sit in its small warm light, and you are finally entirely you understand that this is what the whole long journey was. For this moment, this small flame, this quiet room, this you, no longer running, no longer wanting, no longer afraid, simply present, simply here, simply at home in your own life. At home in your own life. You close your eyes, and you are by the river again. And the water is wide and slow and full of the gold of the setting sun. And the bells are ringing softly, and the lamps are being lit along the ghats. And you are not a visitor there or here. You are simply a person who has learned to be at peace wherever the light finds them. You are simply a person who has learned to be at peace wherever the light finds them. One morning, and you realize the ache is gone, the one you carried since you left, and you are not sad about the old world anymore. You are full of it, and you understand that this is the last gift, the final blessing, the peace that comes after you have come to the end of the telling now. And you understand that the old world was not a story you were teleported into, but a story that was always inside you, waiting to be told, and that you have been telling it with your whole life, with every slow step, every lit lamp, every kindness given and so received. This is what it is you think to come home, not to a place, but to a self, not to an ending, but to a deep and quiet arrival. And you are ready now, ready to sleep the way the old world taught you. And unafraid you breathe out, and sleep steps closer. Patient, you let your eyes close, and you breathe slow, and you feel the whole of the old world gather around you. The river, the temple, the bells, the kindness, the peace, and you are held by it, and you let go. And in your sleep, you are walking the ghats again, and the lamps are being lit for you one final time in the gray dawn, and the diya has gone out, and the room is quiet, and you are quiet with it, and you are not sad, because you know the flame is not gone, only banked, and you carry it now, you are it. And you rise, and you move through your day the way the old world and so you carry it through the days and the nights, through the hurrying world that never was yours, and the slow country that always was. And you are two in one, and you are whole, and you light your lamp each evening, and you remember the river. And you are not missing it, you are it. And this is the gift. The night draws gently to a close. The images fade like embers into the dark, and all that is left is the slow rhythm of your own breath. You have wandered through waking, teleported to ancient India, and you are changed, softened, ready. Thank you for spending this time with me here on What If You Would Like to Drift with us again. Please subscribe and join us tomorrow night. For now, let your thoughts dissolve, and let sleep carry you gently and peacefully into the deep.